So this is our before shot. I actually laughed out loud when I saw the screenshot because it just took me right back to a time when nothing on our homepage was working. Part of what we do at the Victory Fund is we bundle for candidates, which basically means that we're fundraising. We exist kind of like on an Emily's List model. We want to make sure that, most of where LGBTQ people have problems in getting elected is in primaries, right? People don't retire very often. They can be very competitive. So we really needed a website where people can browse our candidates, donate to them, learn their stories, and we weren't getting any of that. The other problem we were having, and this is more on the Victory Institute side, which is our research and educational C3 organization devoted to finding solutions for LGBTQ people who face barriers in seeking public office. We needed a place where researchers and journalists and people who were constantly in our inbox with very important questions and candidates and donors and others, we needed a place where we could convey some of that information. And we knew that we needed some digital tools in the form of a CRM and a website working together so that we could kind of scale up our ability to tell those stories and to get that information across. And we were able to do that through some of the new properties that we created with Social Driver and EveryAction.
And I think, it's important when we think about your web presence and your web strategy to remember that there's what everybody sees on the front that might be pretty and glossy, and we want it to look good and graceful. But there's also a lot of stuff that has to be working really hard behind the scenes. And Victory had these really complex systems and bank accounts for candidates, all this stuff going on that I don't even know all the details about, but Jared does. And we said, EveryAction is going to be the perfect integrated solution for you to decrease the investment of time and energy from your staff so that you can focus more on growing and electing more candidates.
The usability and sustainability piece, is really where sort of the EveryAction, we're using WordPress kind of hookup really comes into play, and how that shows up to our donors and anyone Googling us on our candidate page is through these filters. They're all obviously EveryAction custom fields. We've got every candidate that's marked as a candidate in our CRM feeds through, and a lot of that information feeds through to these pages. Each one of them has a profile with a lot of helpful information and links. Some of our donors are interested in, people's, are only donating to lesbian candidates or, supporting trans candidates. So, having those sort of demographic filters is not something you necessarily see with a lot of endorsing orgs, but we really wanted to emphasize that because we do emphasize representation. We created this map with Social Driver and EveryAction that is kind of the same story as the candidate profiles. Every elected official in our CRM has a special tag. They feed through. The profiles kind of display in a slightly different way on the map, but we really wanted to kind of overlay all of that CRM data with location data on the candidates and turn it into something more interactive.